have money for jam form, someone told them they had a job for them, and they followed the person, and the person brought them to this hotel. So let's, put our hands deep into empowering the girl child. If there's some sort of scheme, I know that some of these governments at different state levels, they have, women empowerment, scheme and all of that. But I really want to see the work that they are doing. Let's see the work that they are doing. Let's make it really big. Let's make it really loud. Let's go to where, people need the help, and let's go help these girls. Yeah.
So, but for me, I think as much as I would want to agree with your thoughts and submission on this particular issue, I also think that the bulk also lies somewhere. I mean, at the center of all of this is poverty, mostly. Inequality is also at the heart of it. Don't you think that we should also get to a point, this is the point where we get to that junction where we say, in terms of having children, there should be, maybe we need to sit at the table and have this conversation in the church, in the mosques, wherever it is we want to have it, whether there should be legislation, although I no longer believe in policies and formulation, that we need to put a cap on the number of children or
right?
Yes, that we can bring, because when you say you see a child who is on the streets, they're not able to, it's because two adults have actually come together to produce a child that they cannot be responsible for. And then we live in a society where everybody says, oh no, it's okay to have the child because God has given us, the grace to have children. So go ahead and we would definitely take care of the child. And we begin to speak all of the Christianese and all that we know how to speak and, sound very spiritual. But the actuality is that these two adults do not have what it takes to cater for the needs of those children. And so we constantly chunk out kids. We raise, you go on the street, you see children that are not being catered for because adults are not responsible for their action. Don't you think that that should be the crux of the conversation, or rather than, because if we get to this part of the divide, then we probably will not have, the reason to say, let's begin to have legislation, let's begin to put all of that in place. Because first off, I know that if a parent is very, very in the know, no one will come to trick you and cajole you that your child should come and stay with somebody because they need to fend. All of that is because resources are not available for parents to actually cater for their needs. I mean, no resources, there's no money, the child needs to survive, so you begin to think that, oh, let them go stay with one auntie, there's one, sister who's somewhere who's going to... And this is how all of this thrives. So my question is this. Should we not get to... Is it not time for us to have the conversation on putting a cap to the children?
I love this conversation.
Yes.
I love where you're coming from. Because
so that's what I'm saying. Don't you think that it is time for us to get to this point where we say, hey, it would be, we hold ourselves accountable at different levels, at different tables, and say, hey, you can't do this, because we're constantly just being irresponsible.
I think it's Ghana that has that cap. I don't know, I might be wrong, but I know Ghana. I think Ghana has a cap on, the number of children you can just give birth to. I'll come to this, but I would like to say that I like this conversation because when I assembled the 4 beneficiaries we had in our rehab, just sort of, I wanted to know about their family and all of that. I noticed something. There was a huge gap of, parenting. There was this, high level of irresponsibility, just sort of coming from the parent side. One of them, she said, I think our mom gave birth to 9 or 7 of them, and then they all had to go fend for themselves, had to go stay with one auntie, one this and all of that. Another one too also has the same, history. So I would say that I think the government on the health, sector, they're doing something about it, because I'm a mom of 3, and whenever I go to for injections and all of that, baby injections, they keep telling us, family planning, they keep educating us about it. So I feel like if they really do a lot of publicity and advocacy around that, just sort of encourage people about family planning, so that people will take it seriously, I feel it will help, to sort of curb the number of children people are just doing out without being responsible for them. On the other hand, you would see someone who would say that, oh, I'm the 6th child of my family. And even though they had lots of children, but thank God they did not put a cap on the number of kids we're going to have, because I have grown to become someone really great and I've become a blessing. So this is what I would say. The Bible says that the poor you will always have amongst you. We'll always have the poor amongst us. It's the reality of the day. It's the time that we are in. It's not even today. Right from time, poor people have been, around us. It is what we are going to do to help the poor people. That should be the crux of the conversation. What are we going to do to help the poor people amongst us? That's what we should be discussing about. Yeah.
Doreen, thank you so much. I wish we can have this conversation, but hopefully we will, have it in a different, angle. Thank you so much for being part of the show tonight. And for you who's also joined us from 8 o'clock up until this moment, want to say thank you. Definitely do this tomorrow. My name is Mercy Boko. Stay tuned. I'll see you tomorrow.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, lives a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.